So we're joined by Fraser T. Smith. I mean, I know you're not necessarily a fan of compliments, but you've worked with some big artists. I think it's fair to say. You've got a new single out. It's part of the Future Utopia project. Just tell us a bit about how it came about and why you're excited so much about it.
Well, yeah, I've worked with a lot of big names, from Stormzy to Adele to Dave to CeeLo, Britney Spears. I've worked with a lot of big artists in the past, and came to the point where I didn't want to repeat myself. So I set up Future Utopia, which is really like a collective of creatives, that from the guys in the band through to everyone that I collaborate with. It's a real collective. It's not about necessarily shining the spotlight directly on me, even though I'm writing the songs. And we came out with the first album that was released in 2020, which is called 12 Questions. And that had a lot of different rappers on it, and singers and activists and spoken word poets. And that did really well. People really liked it. And then we came to come up with the next body of work, which is the EP We Were, We Still Are, which is the latest body of work. And that's I've collaborated with K Tempest, with Big Pig, with Tommy, and the latest single that you're talking about this time is me on lead vocals, and that is feeling really good because we've now got like this real sonic that you can identify with the band, and that's how the music's gonna be moving forwards. I'm loving writing the songs, and we go on tour from the 18th of October through to the 2nd of November, but going up and down the country. I think your nearest gig is going to be, yes, the Pink Room, and looking forward to seeing you down there. And everyone that's listening, hopefully you'll make your way down, because it's going to be a great night. It's going to be a party. It's Friday night in Manchester. It's going to be off the charts, I think.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to touring with a band like that, is it like a set band that you've got in terms of artists, or because you obviously got with so many people? I mean, even the logistics of getting so many, almost it's a bit like Gorillaz in a way, because you've got so many different artists, such a different sound going on. Is it hard to get like the same people all the time on tour?
Well, I have my core band. So I've got Molly J on vocals, who is amazing. She's on BVs. I'm on lead vocals, guitar and keys, and then I've got Ben Epstein on bass, Anthony Sweetsticks Lewis on drums. So we go out as a four-piece, and it really, really works. And then when people's diaries allow, then we bring other people on stage, and that's really exciting as well. So
Yeah, I mean, you've worked with so many big names as well. I mean, I know you probably get asked about, Stormzy, Adele all the time, but I mean, Gorillaz for me are one of my favorite bands, and Damon Albarn's always been someone that I've been fascinated by because a bit like you, he's done so many different things. I mean, Blur, Gorillaz, Good, Bad, and the Queen, all of that stuff. What was he like to work with Gorillaz?
Damon was amazing. I mean, in fact, I worked with him on Kano's London Town album. Um, First, and he taught me so much just through by being in the same room as him and just seeing the way that he works. And then it came to me working with him on the Humans album, and same thing. I mean, just to be in the presence of greatness, and the whole of the Gorillaz, the whole of the Gorillaz crew are just incredible, the way they bounce ideas off each other, and it was such a brilliant time, and just absolutely love the process.
Yeah, because I mean, when you go into the studio to make something, I mean, like the latest thing you've got reminds me of that sort of later Gorillaz sort of sound. And obviously you
Oh,
produced some of
nice.
that, but how do you even start to produce a single like that? Because it's got that sort of really trippy sound at the start to it. I mean, does it take long to sort of think of that, or is that very much like an instinctive sort of jamming process where you improvise it and go, well, this is going to work, this isn't, and sort of put it together?
Yeah, I think when I'm working on the Future Utopia stuff, it is quite quick because I know what I've got in my head, and I'm skilled enough, without sounding big headed, but I mean I'm doing it long enough now to be skilled to know what all the tools do in the studio. So I know how to convert what's going on in my head into a record. So it's a kind of seamless process. But I mean, it's not to say that I don't go back and I change things and I don't question it. But in terms of that sort of initial translation onto whatever it is, Logic or Pro Tools or the drum machine, then it's pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, how do you get the trust of such a big name? Someone like a Stormzy or an Adele or someone like that, where first time you meet them, you go, "Hi, I'm Fraser. Good to meet you." Straight away, how is it you go, right, this is what I want to do, and here's how we're going to do it? And how do you get them to sort of buy into your ideas?
Well, I think really you go in with people and they get a feel for you, they get a feel for the studio, for your ideas, for your whether they like you or not, I guess. Whether they would want to be in the same room as you for, well, in the case of Stormzy, it was about a year. We were working on Gang Signs and Prayer. I think just to see whether you get on and whether you can test each other, and it's so many different things. And I think it's not always a given that things are going to work like that. I think there's been certain projects where I was slightly unsure like what my role was within it. And I think I'd ask the artist, and maybe they hadn't really thought it through, or maybe they thought, I was maybe something going to bring something different to the table. I mean, it's just, you just get these synchronicities, and when they work, it's amazing. But it doesn't always pan out that way.
No, because I mean, I guess you've got to get the balance right as well of wanting them to sound like themselves, but also pushing them at the same time as well. Because like the sound that you create, you're always trying to push artists and take them in different directions, but you also don't want them to lose what they are in the first place as well. So it's sort of getting that balance right, I guess.
Absolutely. And the interesting thing for me, James, is that you can sometimes, as a producer, point out the fact that a band has maybe lost their way. Like I was working with this one band that I won't name only because it might be unprofessional, but they'd lost a key member of the band that did a lot of the writing, and they played a lot of the songs that they were coming up with. I just didn't feel that it felt like the band, the core ingredients. And I guess when you're so close to it, it's like, if you always wear jeans and a t-shirt, and then bit by bit, maybe you change the jeans to chinos, and then the t-shirt becomes a shirt, and then you put a jacket on, and then you put a beanie on, and actually people know you for the jeans and t-shirt, but then little by little you're not recognizable as that person. And I think I felt that. So sometimes you actually have to just remind people what's great about them, and then get them to remember that and push them in that direction.
Yeah, I mean, moving forward, then, I mean, I know you're on tour, you're really busy with the Future Utopia stuff, but I mean, going forwards towards next year and carrying on with that, is there any artists that you'd like to work with going forward? I know you've worked with, I mean, there's an endless list of people that you've worked with, but are there any names at the minute that stand out to you that you'd love to go, right, I want to do your next album?
Um, I get asked this question a lot, and I think that I would love to be in the room with Tom York and the Radiohead Boys. I would love to see what I would create with Kanye, Jay-Z. There's obviously a lot of great new artists around that I'd love to work. But I think they would be the main ones, because I just would be interested in learning so much from them.
Yeah. Right. Well, thanks for chatting to us, Fraser. Best of luck with the tour. Hope it.
Yeah.
I mean, it is going to go well, because you've been doing this for so long now. And I'll see you at Yes.
Yeah, look forward to that. And if anyone listening wants to find out a bit more about the tour, then the website is futureutopia.co.uk, and my Instagram is @FraserTSmith.